Murtz Jaffer here with Ali ahead of Summerslam. How excited are you for this weekend?
Very, very excited. Toronto's always been quite the spot for WWE stuff. I think we haven't been here for like
2004.
2000. What is that? 15 years? That's too long. WWE.
Well, I mean, you come here, but like it's a pay-per-view. You know, you're only a city when you get a pay-per-view. You got to get a pay-per-view. Yes.
Pay-per-view every week in
Yes.
Toronto.
Yes.
I'll make it happen.
You recently suffered a devastating injury. Can you tell me more about sort of the rehab process and what it was like sort of coming back from it?
Yeah, that injury, I think it's going to be something, I don't want it to define me, but it's definitely something that is weighing heavy on this year's influence. I came in this year to SmackDown like on the highest of highs. You know, I pinned at the current time WWE champion Daniel Bryan. I pinned him, and then I was heavily featured. And I was supposed to be in the Elimination Chamber.
That's where I was going with this. You know that's where I was going with this.
And then, you know, my world came crashing down, man. Something that I've been chasing for 16 years was taken away from me. I feel like I undoubtedly was in the WWE title picture. I was in the match, and then to sit back and watch someone, even though I love and respect Kofi Kingston, but to sit down and watch someone kind of take that spot, that was a very hard pill to swallow. And it's still, you know, Kofi's headlining SummerSlam on Sunday, and I don't have a match. So I feel like I've been back. I'm still trying to find myself, but what I do know is I climbed this mountain one time, I can climb it again.
Do you find that like going through something like that, like sort of seeing the rise of Kofi, is that something that's going to make you even hungrier than you are to sort of like get to that same level when you get the opportunity again?
I do feel not just in WWE, but in entertainment, any form of entertainment, we have so many goals, right? And when you conquer the goal, you move on to the next. Very rarely do you sit back and go, man, like I worked really hard for this, and you sit back and you enjoy it and you savor it. And that's just the nature of the business, right? I feel like this injury, and I've been doing this for 16 years now, so I feel like when I hit that moment of success, I'm going to make it a point to know, like, man, take a step back, enjoy this for a second, you know what I mean? And the injury kind of helped remind me of, like, this could not happen. So yeah, even though it was the lowest of lows, I will reach that high of high again.
One of the things I like, sort of in your walk to the ring, when you get into the ring, like before the match, is like how you have the, you know, the glowing heart, and you're always beating the heart. There is so much passion there, and I can tell that this is not just like a character that's coming on. Why does the passion exude from you so much? Where does that passion come from?
I think the big difference between me and a lot of the performers in WWE is the reason why I compete. I've been a lifelong fan. Obviously, I love the sport. The reason I'm here and what my message is to break down barriers, is to let people know that society does not define them, cannot place a label on them. I grew up with that belief. You know, in wrestling, in entertainment and media, someone that looked like me or had a name like mine was always categorized as the bad guy. He was the terrorist. He was this. He was that. He was a foreigner. He was evil. Now kids get to tune in, of Southeast Asian descent, of Arab descent, of whatever, who look like me, they got a funny name like mine, and they get to go, yo, Ali, he's a good guy, and white people in Kentucky are cheering it. You know what I mean? It's breaking down barriers.
This is the whole thing. Like, I find that the WWE right now is so progressive, you know, like with the women breaking the glass ceiling, headlining WrestleMania. A guy like you, when I started watching this thing, like in the early 90s, we both know you would have been the Iron Sheik's, like, nephew, or you would have been, like, Tiger Ali Singh's, like, third cousin. What is it like not having a character, just being able to go in the ring and perform without that sort of label attached?
I think the big discussion we had, the right way to do this character was to not make front and center, he's a Muslim, he's a Pakistani Indian heritage. The minute you push that, you're kind of just putting a new spin on the character. What we're doing right now is we're saying, hey, watch this amazing performer. Oh, hey, by the way, did you know he also is a Muslim? He also is a father. He also was a former police officer. Like that's all my backstory, but none of that defines me. That's the big thing when I sat down and talked to, I go, I don't want anything to define me. I want people to watch and go, I like that guy, or I boo that guy. They have an opinion on me, but just based on the performance.
And last question, who would you most like to face that you haven't yet? I'm thinking Kofi. I'm thinking that guy holding the gold.
Hey, man, I feel like the story's right there. Honestly, like I have a lot of love and respect for him. I feel like he's one of the most respected guys in the locker room, and rightfully so. But I would absolutely love a shot at the WWE Championship against Kofi Kingston because, again, I feel like the story writes himself.
You know what? it may be a new day, but it's a new year for Ali, right?
What a closer. What a closer. That's
amazing. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank you so
very
much. Thank you so much.